going to look at the scenario manager and adding scenarios to a spreadsheet. We're going to use the My Loan Option spreadsheet that I demonstrated for the 1 and 2 variable data tables, and here's the information which we left at the end of it. But below it I've added this information about the scenarios. This will be given to you in a test, or if you're asked to work out a question, because they're things that you're asked to use in your scenario. It's not something that's calculated. You're presented with this information to add to your scenario. So it'll either be in the question or written on a piece of paper or something like that, and you get to use it. I've just added it at the bottom here so it's easy for you to see. You can see that the scenario consists of a name, the cells that are used, what are called the changing cells, the cells you're going to change the values of, and those values that you're going to change or add with reference to those cells. So you can see cell B2 up here is 400,000, it's the cost of the house, and we're going to put in the scenario 1 it's going to be 290,000, and scenario 2 it's going to be 350,000, and likewise for the rest of them. The important thing to note is that you never change the cells up here. Those values remain the same throughout. You add these values here to a scenario, and this is how you do it. You go to Data, a What If Analysis, and Scenario Manager. Now you can see this pop-up appears, and there are no scenarios, so you have to add a scenario. So the first thing is scenario name. So for the first one, it's for 30 years. And the changing cells we have to put in here. The easiest way to do it is just go and grab them. So it says B2, B3. Now because they're next to each other, you can just select the two of them and put a comma in, and then go and select B5 and B6. Okay, so that's everything. You press enter, they're in there. That's perfectly all right now. Don't need to do anything more with that, don't need to change that, and click OK. And it comes back with the figures that you've just selected in those squares. And you can see now that this is why you don't change these, you change them here. So for this first scenario, you'll put in 290,000, 290,000. The deposit is 58,000, 58000. The interest rate is the same, and actually in this particular case it is for 30 years, so we'll leave that alone. And we go either OK, which brings us to here again. You can see the first one's been added. So, or we could have clicked Add, and we end up here again. Second scenario is called for 10 years. Okay, it assumes the same cells, and that's correct. So we just move on to the next one. And again, it gives these values, which we need to change here and not here. Okay, so the value is going to be 350. 350000, and the deposit is going to be 70,000. The interest rate is the same, but this time it's not 360 months because it's only 10 years, it's 120 months. Okay, so we have the two, and we can go and look for a summary. Now when I hit summary, a new worksheet scenario summary will be created with the scenario in. So I'm going to hit summary now, and the first thing you do, the last thing you do is before we end up with the summary, is make sure that you select the monthly payments, because the monthly payments are what you want to display in your scenario. You want to know what you're going to be paying every month, so you have to tell the scenario to show that in the summary by selecting that result cell, and you just click OK, and you see the scenario summary comes up, and it basically says that if you borrow 400,000 with a deposit of 80,000 and interest rate of 3.25% for 30 years, you'll be paying that much per month, which is exactly the same as we started with here. So it's just a reflection of the original information. These are the scenarios we created. For 30 years, if you borrow 290,000 and you pay 58,000 deposit, you're paying that much per month. And if you borrow 350,000 with a 70,000 deposit, but for 12 years, you'll be paying that much. And that's the scenario summary.